ready, Cindy? Okay, it's 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order, stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item on the agenda is the public comment. Good? Okay. Reorganization for 2014. Appointment of commission president for 2014.
Move to appoint Brian Kennedy as president for the calendar year 2014.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Appoint county board representatives. After talking to both commissioners, I believe we'll, I need a motion to approve or leave the boards as they were last year, and then being Brian, Gilmer County Health Center, Board of Trustees, Health Department, Parks and Recreation, Darrell Senior Center, Extension 4-H, and LEPC, Larry Ambulance, PSD, Region 7, and West Montai.
And if you would, could you add on the little canal bus?
Yeah.
And that is my board.
What's that called? Bus?
The canal bus authority.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do I need to read these days that are closed or?
Please.
Okay. I would entertain a motion that by the order of the Gilmer County Commission, the courthouse will be closed on the following day in accordance with the state of West Virginia. January 1st, January 20th, February 17th, April 18th, May the 13th, May the 26th, June the 20th, July 4th, September 1st, October 13th, November 4th, November 11th, November 27th, November 28th, December 24th, December 25th, December 26th, January 1st, and January 2nd.
Now, where do you say January 2nd?
Do what? Well, how on earth did I be the only one that got the one January 2nd? I want everybody to see I'm not crazy.
It does say second.
Yeah, it does. And I can probably explain that because I was going to ask for discussion before you voted on that.
Okay?
I just wanted to ask the commission for consideration of a little bit of a change this year. Because of the day of the week that the holidays fall on this year, the employees would like, in lieu of a half a day off on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, they would like to work the full day and have off Friday, which will be the day after the holidays. Otherwise, we'll have a half a day Wednesday, off Thursday, come back to work Friday. So the consideration again is to work the full day, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and then be off the holiday, which will be Thursday, and Friday, a full day.
I can understand the point.
I can understand the point, but I think we need to keep in accordance with the days that the legislature has set, be similar to what the state is. We take anything off in excess of that.
There were several off this year, both days. New Year's Day and the day after. Courthouses.
Yeah, there was several closed.
There were several.
That they call state holidays.
No.
Did the governor acknowledge that, or was that just one of
It was
her?
on the listserv. Do you remember seeing?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
God,
a bunch.
there was a whole bunch of them that had 2 days off. Yep.
I don't have any issue with it.
I can't imagine why anybody would want to be here on Christmas Eve before 4 o'clock.
Uh,
Different strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent out a questionnaire, and everybody that responded back, which was majority, they all were unanimous to have the day off after.
New Year's. Well, that gives them 4 days versus just a half a day here, back.
Okay, so let's vote on this and see how it goes. I'm gonna amend what I was reading. So we'll take December the 24th out, and we'll take December the 31st out, and add January 1st and January 2nd. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried. Okay.
I see your point, though. I do see your point.
Well, I don't
But I'm
think
sure-
anybody would want to come and work Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve when we normally closed, and it's what benefits the public. You know, people go to work after New Year's Day. That's the only reason, nothing against the employees, I fully respect
Yeah.
what their wishes are.
I think that,
We just don't always agree. That's all right.
I think the employees can look at that as a gift from the commission. I mean, that's how I would see it, not be presented as this is our,
But you're trading two halves for a whole, it's not as far as time.
Well, but then you can flip the coin and look at it too. Everybody else that works and is going to get off a half a day for Christmas, now we'll be open Christmas Eve. They can come here, and the same with New Year's Eve. You know, other places that close at noon, you know, there's a lot of little small places here to close. Now they can come those days here, because we will be open for
If that's their priority, that is a true statement.
Okay. Set regular commission meeting schedule for 2014.
I have one point I'd like to bring up
Okay.
concerning this. The February 4th, if you follow the same procedures you've had, first Tuesday, third Wednesday. The first Tuesday of February is February the 4th. The state auditor has a budget workshop in Bridgeport that Jean and Angel and I would like to attend on the 4th. So we'd like to ask for consideration for that meeting to be possibly the 5th or somewhere around the 4th. If we have the meeting, commission meeting on the 4th, we would have to end up traveling to like Wheeling or Huntington or Charleston at a later date. At a later date, and we'd like to take advantage of an early budget workshop.
Does anybody have any issue with the 5th? Okay, let's change that to the 5th. All right, so I would entertain a motion that we set our Gilmer County Commission schedule of regular meetings on the first Tuesday and the third Wednesday.
Exception here, and the reason being the annual commission training.
Okay. Well, we'll set them on the first Tuesday and the third Wednesday, and as they need to be amended, we'll amend them.
So moved.
it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And you've rescheduled the 2-5, the 2-4 meeting to 2-5, correct?
Well, we haven't yet, but we're going to. I guess we did. Okay. Exonerations and consolidations.
You want coffee?
No, thank you. I've already had like 3 cups of tea today. I don't need any more. Kind of cancels out meditation, but what are you gonna do?
I want to take just a few minutes of your all's time. I had to raise my land tables this year, farm use land tables, and you all may have got some letters.
Yeah, I have proof of that.
All right.
Yes.
But state mandated, we've had one hearing scheduled, which was Tom and Nancy Minnie.
Okay.
And it's going to be just, I'll try to explain to them, probably about $30 a year.
It's still so low.
Yeah.
If you take what it's appraised
Right.
for,
Exactly.
it's still a fraction of the
I
work.
hated to do it this year, but the state tax.
I wondered if I was
last
the
year-
only one that got notified.
It's straight across the board.
Yeah.
So we might have, we'll probably have a hearing on them, so I just want to let you all, give you all a heads up, it's just state mandated, not my,
Okay,
so.
thank you, Gary.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Motion to approve the exonerations consolidation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Motion carried. State qualifications and settlements.
Jude Matters, Dr. Jude Matters. You ever killed him? What the hell is that?
Yep. Gene, which side is it? This side or the other side?
That's fine, right there.
Right there, right after Christmas.
I didn't know either.
Did you know?
Kind of sad.
She battled cancer for 10 years. She's been down.
I knew she was sick for a while.
She's had cancer for 10 years, different kinds. She was down in Arnold's funeral.
I didn't even know about, I didn't make it to Brock Brady, any of his stuff, because I was at church and they passed the card around for Alvin. And I looked at that card, and I knew what it was, you know? And I signed it, and after church, I asked my Uncle Kevin, I said, when did Brock Brady die? It's crazy how more people, they're dead and gone before you even. Okay, motion to approve the state qualifications and settlements.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Board appointments and or resignations. I don't think that I let you all know publicly that Jane Collins had resigned from the, maybe I did let you all know. Jane Collins resigned from the,
Resigned or didn't seek
Or
another
not her
term.
term.
well, she didn't resign, she just didn't seek another term.
From where?
From the rec center board.
So we have one opening there, we
We
still
have
have
one.
one seat open on the EMS board.
Yeah.
You have one or two? You're still looking for Sonya, right?
We're still, but now Sonny's still a
Stay.
board member,
She said
but she would like to be. The one that we need from Center District, I'm speaking with someone, I have someone in mind to bring before the commission. I'm confident that this person will do the right thing and accept that position. And I hope she reads the minutes. Here's that. But I've got someone really close. It'd be a great person to serve on that board. It's tough. That ambulance board's tough to get. It's a tough board. It's a tough board.
Why is it tough?
It's tough because there's not enough money to cover expenses.
Who
It's,
gives them money?
They get about $125,000 a year from excess levy funds, then the money that's generated from their services. Keeping in mind, it's just like if you go to the doctor and he makes his charges and you have insurance and he sends it to the insurance company, then they cut that. So Medicare, Medicaid, when that bill's sent for those people, they cut it. It's
Right.
not the full amount.
Oh, I know, I used to work for
And
insurance.
then, they don't turn anybody down. If there's an emergency, they do what's required, take them to the hospital, whatever. Not everybody pays. It's a huge amount that's uncollectible. So, once your services are cut, and
Does the commission ever give them money?
Yes. We paid $20,000 for audits for them 2 years ago.
pay
For
for
8
the,
years.
pay, and just recently, or if we have, we're getting ready to for 2 more years. And that's $7,000-8,000. Does that bill come across yet? You haven't received? You'll be getting it.
Well, thank
Just,
you.
it's a tough business.
Okay.
You might want to put there for that, because they were asking to put in the paper, when we have boards that are available, the rec center board, and that is DeKalb Troy District is where somebody needs to come from.
Is
Mandy,
that DEKALB?
Yes.
Mandy Frymeyer had talked to me before about it, that if Jane didn't, renew, she would be interested, but then she's moved to Meadow Lane out here down there, so that threw her out.
I think I got something about it. Sonny's good on it.
Basically beat that.
And she'll stay. I have her aggressively. She's good.
Okay. Improve invoices for payment. That's my favorite part right here.
Your bills have already been paid.
Already been paid. Right, that's the company. We take a look and check and see. It's in addition to,
What'd you say?
that's what I was telling you a while back about that retirement plus.
Yeah.
Little kick that you don't have to do anything to get statement.
Yeah, I'm going to see it.
y'all tell how much you've approved when you approve all the invoices and stuff? Do you tell that?
Go home with Bill's back, I don't know if she could have it.
Would be, I think that would be a good thing to start doing, to have a cumulative total for the approved.
Yeah.
But I can get a-
Yeah, we'll talk, I'll say something to her when she comes over here to do these budget revisions.
I mean, if it's something that I could just call back for, or come and, you know, ask somebody, if you don't have the figure right now.
Yeah, well, we don't, it's, yeah, you'll have to call back for it later. As far as us, what we were talking about for future meetings.
So it could be good.
He's probably a little flat out right now.
Yeah.
The West Virginia National News,
Do what?
that's it, the chemical spill.
Mm,
They're
yeah.
For
talking
many evenings, yeah.
They made some headway on that yesterday, didn't it? I thought they did.
They sent out instructions to their customers on how to flush their lines, flush their water heaters.
I have a cousin that lives in Pinch. She said, well, when they started flushing, it smelled the whole house.
Then you wonder about.
And how much is in still eroded around your arm.
That's what scared me, when you go on.
Right.
Especially, I don't know if you've ever cut an old coffin pipe or an old metal pipe that's had water run through it for 15 years. What's on the inside of that pipe's scary looking, you know?
Crazy.
I mean, it's slimy, black stuff, and they're just, I wonder how on earth you get those chemicals out of that.
Need approved for payment?
A lot more than that with FEMA.
Yeah, one that's finished.
Come on in, Bob. You need something from us? Bill?
We don't want it.
How you feeling anyway?
You're pretty good, huh? Honestly, pretty good, okay. Okay, she said. I need a pen. Gonna read it after we get down there.
Are you feeling better?
Oh, yeah. Still working over there in
What's that? Yeah.
the water line. Thank you.
And
Thank
get
you.
back where you want to fool with it. Hit, I need you to stop down there at my house, right down here. Couple, those window panes need replaced, and those old windows. This house over here,
Over on the hill?
Yeah.
Where you going uphill?
yeah, they had 2 or 3 little things that needed done.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to be today, then.
Nope. Whenever you feel like it.
But it was snowed here, and I worked this night.
Today's snow day.
Yeah, snow day. Yep.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Bob.
Thank you.
Well, there's one of them. That's one of them. That's one of the old houses. That's one of them.
Oh,
Yeah. Look at that.
Just got out. Down about 3 days, 4 days.
I didn't know he was even in.
Just birthday.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you on the whole house flood insurance policy that you already went across your desk. I noted on there how much the increase was. That's due to the changes in the National Flood Insurance Program. They've done away with the subsidies. So we'll be looking, that was about a 29% increase. We'll be looking at, everybody that has some flood insurance will be looking at about a 25% a year increase until their premium reaches the full premium without any subsidies, as they've done in the past. I'm looking into what, there is a system where you can apply for credits if you meet certain criteria. It's pretty complex, but I'm looking into what we may already have in place and what we could possibly do to get some credits, to at least get some reduction. The minimum reduction would be 5%. The maximum reduction would be 45%. It's not likely we're going to get 45%, but if we can get 5 or 10%, that benefits everybody in the county.
They talked about that phenomenon when they,
Did
I
they?
think, yeah. He sent the year-end statement too, but right here, Jim.
What?
The 911 center.
Year-end statement.
The year-end,
All of the recorded
the runs
calls
and
and all that.
costs. He said it didn't come up with that. So it's good for me, Brad.
Sample. Let's not do it every month, does it?
How often does
No, not every month.
That's where it's well
They come maybe quarterly?
Yeah, it just depends on how it gets.
Is there ever been any issue?
No, it's for Mike Kennedy. Yeah, drain line over here, that you want to fix, okay? We'll wait till you put that heater in. As long as we got pump a hole above it in the wall. So the pressure will run up through there. So we can do it.
Right.
Define it. Okay?
Okay,
Don't ask me how long it takes, but that's plastered wall.
okay.
There's probably metal studs in that. I don't know, but I won't guess it is.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Bob.
I'll wait till they're supposed to come back and get that heater in, what, this week maybe?
I saw him
He
today.
should be back today.
He just walked through here a little bit ago.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. Now,
pneumonia. And he wouldn't go to the doctor, he was taking cricket's medicine. And then when cricket's medicine didn't work, he decided to doctor himself a little brain bed. And then he got cleared down.
Are we had just over $300.
Is it agreeable if we have a code for evidence?
I don't know.
Do we have to do that one or not? Only two people for evidence? Kevin.
We should ask.
Indeed, then we ordered to have it done, we have to pay it.
They did, if I'm not mistaken.
There's your work county. Let me go.
I'd ask him.
Ask him. Okay.
It's not cheap, is it? Have something towed from work.
No, it's
here.
not cheap.
He's in a meeting right now, someone, he'll be different.
Well, I'm hoping that 404-233 is. What's this tow bill about, Larry?
That's the tow bill. We had a car brought from Work County that was purchased with stolen money. It's out of your garage. It's part of, we had about $75,000 stolen, and the car was purchased with that money. So it's evidence.
I got you. This comes out of your budget somewhere?
Yeah.
Did he approve it? I don't think there's a signature on that. Is that his?
Should be.
Yeah.
Pick up in the top right here. Maybe not.
Let's see, there's, see, no, there's not that side.
Okay, see, we had to have two. This $50 one is for a tow company in Elizabeth
Yeah.
that picked the car up originally for us.
Okay.
He took it to his shop, and then we sent Titan Towing down to fix the car up. So Titan Towing paid the $50, and if it doesn't include, there's $50 on it. I thought I had signed that one, so apparently not. We probably have some truck in Tennessee till we have to capture it.
Out of the same bunch of
You
stuff.
did do it right here.
Okay, yeah, I did
Your
sign.
initials are.
Okay, but that's what that is.
There's two, actually.
Or was this stuff stolen from there? Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, we went to Tennessee and picked the guy up there.
Money gone.
Yeah. So that's why we tried to, the old car out here is not worth much, but it'll probably recoup a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll have, I believe the guy's got 2 or 3 felonies on him right now.
Yeah.
He's in, up in jail, it's $50,000 cash bond.
What's the name? What's the name?
The one we picked up, Isaac Brown's, General's brother. He was in Tennessee, Crossville, Tennessee, and Casey went down and picked him up 2 weeks ago. But that's what that is.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, sir.
must have had it laying around.
I think he's the only problem with who you showed.
Did you get this
Yeah,
Did they?
Yeah.
on the big one? This is small
Right.
enough, they did it.
yeah, that's it.
Is this lease payment was, funds doesn't have an end date? We should have put an ending date
I
on it.
have a copy of the lease, it's about 3 more years.
3 more years.
If it was a
That is
5-year
not
lease, it's probably
cheap.
just right at the 2-year point.
That check went up there, didn't it? It was 90, the other one's 87, 88, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's usually around somewhere in that. Maybe something around there.
Oh, these are some. This one is one for the courthouse, $540. This one for the whole house, $33. There's another one for the whole house, $32.98. Annex, $979.53.
Well, the annex, I mean, that's not the Board of Education building, is what
Yeah,
this
it
is.
is.
They're
It is.
using electric heaters too.
Well, they did,
Yeah, dude.
Oh, when that belt went there.
plus the things are ran more.
The elevator, $5.31.
Yeah, we really didn't do well.
It's
A
just
little over 100.
expensive. It's just high.
That electric bill there is all on Chapman. That elevator, you just had to ride it. Do you remember when you had to ride the elevator? You just had to do it then.
That's right.
We wouldn't have electric bill, it would never been turned on.
Somebody
We
has to
should
try
have
it
like
out.
$35 ticket then.
There's a minimum on that. You're gonna pay $5.31, you pay $5.31 a month before.
Shame on you,
Yeah.
Commissioner Chapman.
Yeah.
This is the really pile of bills.
Oh my God, how many bills do you guys have there?
Not very many, but there's one in here we haven't seen yet that I always look forward to, so I can complain. And that would be the jail bill.
The jail bill?
The jail bill.
Why do you complain about that?
Cause it's usually somewhere between
Because
$15,000
we
to
spend
$20,000.
a lot of money to keep prisoners in jail. Where if we just had that money, look at what we could do in the county.
Well,
It's
what
it's
do
in
these people
excess
get
of
arrested for?
$200,000 now. Bob Reed's bill. Concrete basement.
Yeah, for the annex.
To set the new boiler on.
Why don't you stop putting them in jail and just write tickets to them?
We don't put anybody in jail.
Yeah.
We
Or
just
whoever
pay them,
does.
I guess.
The state police, the sheriff's department. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying some of them don't need to be in jail, we just don't like to
They
pay
probably
for it.
don't, Larry. Come on, be honest. Everyone in jail's innocent.
Probably some,
Like I said on Shawshank Redemption.
yeah. Gosh, how many meters is out there?
Several.
Sheesh.
37.
137.
No, that's
Well,
good.
Cindy and I met that John Morgan that time, but he was absolutely no help. He talks a good game, doesn't he?
I go to
He was
class.
gonna, I thought he was gonna try to see if we could combine some of that.
Well, I have an
Huh?
update.
Oh, it's right. It's boring. I take it to get out of school.
Oh.
I'm just wondering, to whom can I talk about, I have to go now. So who can I talk to, like, about anything that I haven't,
Cindy.
Cindy? Okay. I had written your name down, but do you have a, can I get your phone number?
7470.
What is it, 462?
7470.
7470, okay. All right, thanks a lot. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. All right. It's been real, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Huh?
Pretty exciting stuff.
You guys are gonna have to up your game a little bit.
Yeah.
We had to have the
A
septic
little more
system
exciting.
pumped at the industrial park.
Why and how
See
often
where
does
the ring
that
is on?
happen?
Johnny Collins had been pumped. It's been pumped since he's been taking care of it.
2 years.
It's been years.
Wow.
Do you know how long Johnny's been up there?
Since George passed away.
I was gonna say, before me,
I was supposed to be breaking down for a year to get it all at once.
Well, and you'll probably not have to do it again for another
7, 8
6 or
years.
7, 8 years, yeah. So, and, you
It's
know,
never
he
been
had
done
to
since
do
I've
it because,
He said there's a lot of sludge on the
yeah,
top.
the
and he never
sludge
took it out.
was getting bad, and then, of course, that makes our test results come out bad, and then, you know, it's either do that or get fined.
Yeah.
This is another one.
Yeah, that's the one he just brought in.
Well, what was the one you called? That's the, did Troy put the kerosene heaters down there? That's.
Down the chute.
We did, but that
Didn't touch it.
Didn't touch it. Didn't do anything. It was the next day that the lines broke.
Maybe you don't think they were frozen before you put the heaters down?
Oh, they were frozen. Yeah.
Already before?
Yeah, it was. That's why he put
So
it down
that-
there because they're.
I've grown up all my life with Bob Reed. He's like my other grandpa. He gives me a hard time wherever I'm at. I give him a hard time wherever he's at. I try to give him, he gets all the work out of all my rentals. And the man has given me more bills for $60 even than any. I mean, at times I'll say, there's no way that's enough, Bob. He'll say, listen, I'll write them, you pay them. Okay?
These are the two bills. This is what you're looking for. This is November and December, but I just request that you hold off approval until some later discussion.
Don't, just there they are. Down some.
16,
That's-
Twenty.
At this point, the chair will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss some things with our administrator.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Are you gonna say it? What are you gonna do?
We'll wait on.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
I like to have Will Smith. Good for him. Good for him.
Repeat the motion.
I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we have a motion to approve the bills,
So moved.
invoices for payment, I'm sorry.
Yes, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's see, approve county commission minutes.
Did you all have any issues with it?
Gene text me.
Did I send you the new ones?
I picked mine up here.
I couldn't remember if I knew that I talked to you, but I couldn't remember.
I already told Brian, she and she fixed it.
All right. Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Receipt of county board minutes, LEPC and Lewis E911 annual report. We have copies of those here. Gilmer County competitive bid process, first reading. Here's my chair. Yeah.
Did you get hold of him?
Update. Jones Business is gonna come and replace all the pneumatics in all these chairs.
Because you had my chair. When I came up, this last meeting, I sat down here, I'm like, Kennedy's got my chair. Yours wasn't much better.
I've got a feeling I've got the best chair in the bunch. All right.
When did you switch it back?
Just the other day, what was it, Friday? Was I up here Friday? I think it was Friday.
How'd you know it was your chair? You got your name on it?
Yes, I did, and yours has a loop on it.
See, this one won't, oh my goodness.
Now you've read it, you'll not get back up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I told Cindy, call him, these aren't that old.
All right.
It's 2011, I'm kinda
Was
surprised
it?
that they're gonna do that without
Well,
any
good.
cost to
Well, we
us.
hardly ever use them.
So here's a copy of the competitive bid process proposal. To do a first reading, set a date for a second reading.
I'll leave that top paragraph up there.
Up here.
See? Okay. Be it ordained by the County Commission of Gilmer County, West Virginia, that in accordance with the authority of West Virginia Code, Chapter 7, Article 1, Section 11, it hereby adopts the following related to purchases of services and supplies in the county. And I want to say as written.
The highlighted areas are areas that I'd like us to make sure we want that in there. Or
I've never seen that resident vendor preference.
Never seen one?
The resident vendor preference paragraph. I mean, I like it. Of course, we would have preference for local contractor. It's legal.
yeah, if they need their other.
Georgia.
It's good.
Yeah.
Is the 2.5%, is that, could be 5%, that's, would be my question. Two and a half just doesn't sound.
My question is, let me reread it, I keep thinking about what Larry's saying. "4 years immediately preceding the date in which the bid is submitted, or a vendor who has an affiliate or subsidiary which employs shall be allocated a preference to the extent does not exceed the lowest qualified bid from the non-resident vendor by more than 2.5% of the latter bid, if the vendor has made written claim." Is that binding us to 2.5%?
Yeah, if the resident vendor met other qualifications and their bid was not more, the way this is written, more than 2.5% above the lowest qualified bidder, then you would give them preference, and you could award to them.
But you wouldn't be locked, but by the same token, we don't want it to be locked in.
I don't want to lock into that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, it's a lot smaller scale with this last computer we just bought off Dave. I mean, he's here and helps us whenever we need it and comes immediately if we've got something that needs taken care of. And there was far more, and it's a lot smaller scale, but there was more than 2.5% between the bid that we didn't take and we took his bid.
Yeah, well, you can change this, you can strike it. That's why I highlighted it, because I think that's definitely a piece, excuse me,
I don't like
that you
that.
need to discuss and determine what you want in there. The other, what's not highlighted, I feel comfortable and confident we should have. The highlighted either needs a decision or to change, strike,
I think it needs just struck.
strike the 2.5%. So there will be no stipulation on how much more that resident vendor's bid can be above the lowest qualified bidder.
Correct. I believe it ought to be up to the commission. Once again, if you take somebody that has provided a service to us over and over and over, we don't want to step over dollars to pick up nickels and be bound by this contract.
Okay. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm just making sure I understand so I can rewrite it correctly.
Any discussion from the other two commissioners here?
I agree.
I like the option of being able to give preference to local contractors.
So you can do that anyway.
But she still has it in there.
Does
Just-
that paragraph have to be a period for that to happen? I don't want to be locked by the same token, I don't want to be locked in either.
Well,
You would have to have it in here.
yeah, but it just, you're not gonna do away with the whole paragraph.
Right, you're only doing away with the 2%, or 2.5, is all you're wanting to delete. Correct?
Yeah.
You're still wanting to keep all the other in there, and just delete the percent, where he was saying 5% or something. We're saying delete it all the way.
Well,
Well, how does it need to say anything more than in accordance with legislative intent provisions of the West Virginia Code, Chapter 5A, Article 3, Section 37, a resident vendor which has maintained its headquarters or principal business in Gilmer County, West Virginia, continuously for 4 years, immediately preceding the date of the bid as submitted, or a vendor who is affiliated subsidiary with employees minimum of 100.
that seems excessive, 100.
Yeah, it does.
And I definitely don't like that next word after the comma. The word is shall.
Yeah.
I prefer may.
Well, I don't know that I like the 4 years either. I mean, if Dave closes Ramco and starts up another business tomorrow, the services that he's provided, you once again using Dave. Yeah, once again using Dave, why should he be punished just because he changed the name of his business or changed his business?
True, but that is the code though, correct?
That is
So
how.
we can't go changing the code.
We can't go change
Is
his
this one
code.
for workout code?
That's what I'm asking.
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm asking,
I
is that,
can't
this is,
remember
the way
at
you're
this
reading
point.
that is you're reading it straight from the code book.
What if we just made it nice, short, and sweet, and, in accordance with Article 3, Section, a resident vendor may receive preference, bidding preference, period.
Not one sentence.
Yeah.
I need to verify the wording in that, if, like they're asking if this is verbatim of the
Yes.
code, and I can't remember, it's been
Right.
Right.
a couple months, I can't remember for sure, if it's verbatim.
And did you see where it says, sealed bids? That it's to be sealed? I haven't read that one.
Yeah, it does say sealed bids.
Do what?
It does talk about sealed
It shall be
bids.
sealed, yeah, I found it.
Mm-hmm.
$15,000 for commodities, $25,000 for construction.
See, the thing is, how many vendors in Gilmer County have 100 employees?
Yeah, that's the
too,
way.
yeah, it's too much.
It's hardly any.
It's-
Maybe
That
one,
is
two.
how,
Yeah,
the actual code itself is more in-depth, but it does specify the minimum of 100. All the wording that's in here is
Is
out
code.
of the code.
We've got to do away with that code reference.
So, we're gonna keep the resident vendor preference in there, but we're
Yeah.
gonna write our own language for how we give resident preference.
And I don't think it needs to be any paragraph long.
Just needs to be clearly defined,
Clearly
so that we
defined.
can
Yeah,
follow the same process.
yeah. Because, you're talking 2.5%, of $15,000 is what, $375?
Insignificant.
Insignificant. So, I need to retract that reading of this motion. Well,
Why don't we just, I move we lay this over.
Well, what we
future
do,
Meeting and,
we make
No.
the changes now, and then you have a second reading with the changes.
But I'm still a little confused. You just said that this was quoting the code, right?
It's from the code.
So
It's not
how can
quoting
you
the code.
change it and not be against the code? How can you take bits and pieces of the code, chapter 5A, Article 3, but not take the whole thing?
We won't reference, as Brian said, we will take that reference to the code out.
he's asking, how do we get by with not abiding by the code?
Yeah, when that is the code, and then we turn around and make our own code, is what it's kind of sounding to be.
That's exactly what we're doing.
And
No,
I don't want to do that.
the code is not saying, if you give residents preference and refer to the code, then you have to abide by the code.
Well, if
But if
there ain't
you,
no other way to do it then.
but this is your ordinance. You don't have to reference that code. And you're not breaking the law if you don't follow the resident vendor portion of the ordinance.
Chair to entertain a motion that we table this until the next meeting.
So moved.
Yeah.
Well, I have a problem. We've already tabled it, and we've got projects we need to put out to bid, and I can't put them out to bid until we get this done.
Well, you can put them out to bid. I mean, we put everything out to bid before without this.
But the last time we had a bid, there was problems with the process
I
because we
understand.
didn't have our,
Just put them out to bid and make them sealed.
Make them sealed.
14 days.
though.
Advertise in 14 days and have them sealed. I mean, we did it the whole time I was here without this, and I think this is necessary, and we're moving in the right direction. I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm not comfortable with no more than I know about this just
Me
yet.
either.
So, all in
Well-
favor?
I will say, look at it closely. I mean, you've had it a few months, and we tabled it, this is the second time. So
Okay.
I want us to make sure we can get it done, because I need to know clearly what I can and can't do, supposed to do, so.
Well, have you said anything to Mr. Huff on this issue with that?
No,
You know, his legal advice, what
We'll just get him
you
here.
can and can't cut?
so just put it back on, you don't want me to do anything with this between now and the
Don't
next
do anything with
meeting?
it, and we'll get a hold of, just get a hold of Jerry. Ask if he can be here at the next meeting, or if you wanna set something up before then, I'd be more than willing to come and listen to him give us some advice. Cause he's probably gonna need to look at it a day or two.
So you want me to forward this to him for his review?
Yeah.
Set up a meeting with him,
Yeah,
just a
Or
work,
even-
a work,
right,
working meeting.
right, and if he doesn't have time to meet with us, if he can put something in writing for us. Did anything get changed, or what's the deal with this unsafe building and lands ordinance? I know we tabled it the last time because we weren't comfortable with it. I mean, is it still in the same place it was?
The last time, we didn't have the written out revision. It was hand noted. So since then, because they gave it to me the day before to type this 4-page thing. I didn't have time to type it.
Right.
So since then, I have typed it, and I sent it to them for their review, and they were gonna have it presented today for their first reading. But since that, they have kind of gotten together in an informal meeting and decided that they have some other things that they need to kind of clean up about what they've already revised. So revisions to the revision. So it's delayed again at their request.
I hope though, when it's on there as a first reading, I'm not gonna read that thing and say yay the first time after I read it.
Well, it needs to go before Jerry
You
has
know,
to.
right, it's just like this. You know, this is good and I like this, but I have some questions and Darryl brought a good, we don't want to do anything anti-code.
Right.
By the same token, we want to give local people
Right.
resources.
Right.
But
We don't
Let's
want
not
to
jump-
Charleston thinking.
listen, you're exactly right.
Having legislative
you're
session.
exactly right, President Kennedy. We've been doing bids for years without something. This would make your job easier, yes. It spells it out specifically.
Yeah, then there's no question.
Yeah, there's no question.
That are bidding and.
But this one paragraph, you know, that is for we're trying to do something to help local
Right.
folks.
Well,
But-
both these things need to go to Mr. Huff.
I think 100, you know, 100 people, we don't have any.
Board of Education.
What are they gonna get?
Yeah.
It's college, Board of Education, maybe Waco.
If there doesn't have to be a number in there,
They ain't gonna bid on
That's it.
That's it?
if there doesn't have to be a number, you know,
Right.
And
I
that
want-
number is part of
The
that
code.
code.
Of that
So I'm
code.
sure you probably can't change the number.
well, they might be able to.
Okay.
All right.
Set Board of Review and Equalization to open no later than January 31st. Let me get a calendar here. It's gotta be open how many days? 21?
21 or 22.
So we've got to come in sometime between now and the 31st and have a meeting, open it.
Be a great time to have Jerry Huff here.
Yeah.
So
So,
the 31st is Friday, So it needs to be at least by then. We're out at a conference.
Why don't you get a hold of Jerry after this meeting and see what he can do that week of the, next week, the 19th through the 25th?
Okay.
So that's a holiday, so 21 through 24, one of those 4 days?
Yeah. And Larry's got
Just not Thursday morning?
Thursday morning, and Daryl's got,
I'm good.
you're good.
So 21st, 2nd, or 4th.
You guys have any problem with her talking to him and setting that meeting?
Just not Thursday. any other day,
Signed broadband assistance grant agreement for $25,499.14 for online public access project.
Yeah, so we were awarded. We were awarded $25,494.14 for a project that I'm calling online public access that will get the assessor's tax and land information online. It will get the sheriff's tax information online. It will create a county website, which will be the hub for this. And you can pay your taxes online. I'm gonna work with the OEM office and get all of our emergency stuff online and every other office. It will also give us uniform secured emails. We will have our own server on site. So everything will run through our server and it can be secure. We don't have to worry about hacking emails. So this is the agreement for that project.
Once again, good job, grant writer.
Absolutely, and I saw,
Fantastic.
we'll hear more about it here in a minute when Angel comes, but there's a couple more in the hopper too, right?
Yeah, we've got several that are,
Because I know she had a
I've got
question
about
for
a
me
dozen
about,
projects right
Right.
now.
she had a question for me yesterday about where, take that, I'm gonna get her right now. Money from in the budget.
I know. For him to sign that. When should I even start at 45?
Oh, she's had them for a
Well, I never seen her now. Dress.
She wears them all the time now.
Does she?
She's been around really
Does one? Was she supposed to go there? She had 2 seats.
Good, there you go.
Well, this project, the basement.
Yeah.
Where else was I taking her?
But she doesn't have them. I mean, she has
She's
them.
never had them.
We've got this vacuum over here.
Okay.
Do that.
Brian, we need a motion to do that.
I mean, it's a big day right now, there.
That's, things are important.
A motion to do what?
Sign the agreement.
Oh,
Sometimes I think 50,000 is too high, you should be doing well with 25,000. Whatever you gotta say.
From City West.
Oh, Mike Moore,
Mike Moore,
Sill and Associates Architects.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Chair
you.
will entertain a motion to
Did you sign this certificate?
approve and sign the agreement for the broadband assistance grant.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mike will stop in and tell us, hey, give you that opportunity right now, Mike.
Very good. Well, I'm Mike Moore, Sill and Associates Architects. I've talked with Cindy several times, checking in with you guys on your CFI grant application. I had a meeting this morning at Winnable State College, so just gonna pop in and say hello and see this. I wasn't sure if you guys got funded on were we doing some repairs to the basement? Okay, well, good. So,
We appreciate it.
yeah, no problem at all. Still have other issues I'm sure that you guys are gonna look to hopefully address, and if we can help you guys, we'd be glad to help. Talk about some issues with ADA accessibility and potential elevator and all that, so, yeah. that's one
We've
thing
got
at a
very
time.
few money won't take care of.
Yeah, exactly. So you got, we talked before, it's a laundry list of stuff that I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys have to work to try to find ways to get funded, and
Yeah.
we can appreciate that, and so we're, any way that we can help you guys moving forward, be glad to do it. So, yeah,
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
So
Yeah.
it was your firm that did that complete
We did
comprehensive?
we did all
study of
55
things that
counties, we
need
did all the
done?
assessments, yeah. So we've helped a number of counties with, helping get their grant applications complete, kind of penciling in a few loose ends with what they've got, but hopefully the reports serve the purpose. They're probably overwhelming to some folks. It was a report that we were charged with calling it like we saw it, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. So there's a lot of code issues that you can look at and say, gosh, we really need to do that kind of stuff. But by the letter of the law or the code, if that's what we were asked to do, there are certainly some things that you can kind of look and say, well, they're not the highest priority on our ladder here. But I think for the most part, most counties are dealing with the same situations. And I think the spirit of what the CFA is trying to do, obviously, is in the preservation of courthouses. So folks that have had trouble fixing water, roof problems, we saw a lot of courthouses where we've got roof conditions or conditions around the courthouse where water does the most damage. And so where the brick or limestone portions of exterior facades are just literally eroding away. So in the spirit of preservation, of keeping courthouses, which they're great, beautiful buildings, and there's no way that you would ever replace them. It's great CFA has an avenue to provide grants to help you guys fund those types of projects. But as you all know, prevailing wage rates, construction doesn't get any cheaper, and 100,000 doesn't go as far as what it did 10 years ago. We understand that. So it's our hope that Melissa Smith and the CFA continues to maybe go back to the legislature to explore the opportunities to use the revenue that they take in to bond that revenue, which would create a larger pot of money. That would really be a great service. I think, I'm not on the inside on this, but there's maybe some type of misunderstanding from the legislator or the governor last year in terms of, were they bonding out 100% of the revenue? I guess the best way to kind of relate that is you're buying a home, and this whole housing thing that we've gone through in the last 3, 4, 5 years, that folks get loans for 120% of their value. It's just not a good thing. And I think the spirit, if the CFA takes in $2 million a year, what's that number? Is $1.5 million, and is that an appropriate percentage? 80%, 70% of those revenues? Is that a safe number to bond that money out? Certainly not all of it. They've got salaries to pay. They've got administrative services and costs that they've got to pay to run the authority to do the things that they need to do. But it's our hope that the County Commissioners Association, Association of Counties, the CFA, those folks, again, I don't know if you guys have been down to Charleston yet for legislative meetings, and just getting that word out of maybe approaching that subject again. I don't know if it's on the table or not. I haven't heard that officially. If the CFA has taken that up with the legislature this year to try to get the bonding approved. But if they can, it's a great opportunity. It's certainly a greater amount of money, and can go a long ways. So best of luck, and if you guys have questions, you've got my contact information. If you guys have a question on something, if you run into something here that you've got a question about that we can help get a solution to, we don't have to draw everything. It could be something that your own folks here can do, but you need someone that you'd like to have a set of eyes to look at something. We've got guys that are running up the road here every week that we can swing by and take a look at. So just let me know.
I would like to talk to someone, if you're in town for a little while, have some time later this morning, or if one of your guys, when they come by,
I'm delivering drawings for a little project that we're doing for Randolph County, so I've got to get nothing when I'm ready.
They already know.
But,
Forces that are fine.
you know, I've got a meeting with Dave Chanel at college, but you want to call me or email me, let me know. And we'll have, I can, either me or I've got somebody that.
You have a card on you, just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Mike, I do have fillings in general.
Yeah.
I'm pretty have yours too.
Just let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, we're gonna do a little project back here, try to upgrade this bathroom in the hall to make it more handicap accessible. Now, as far as actual plans, we don't have anything.
We don't have
We did a similar thing for Roane County. They had a couple restrooms upstairs, over their circuit court, just public toilets. And then we did that maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It's a pretty simple project. But yeah,
But we need
the
some-
design specifications to get you where you need with your heights and, you know, if there's any modifications, physically, that's one or two drawings. It's a pretty simple process. And it's something that you've got somebody that you know that you want to bid the work or that could do the work, they could price it and you know, it shouldn't be a very expensive project. Just let us know. We've done that several times. So, this one on this floor?
Right back here in the
Okay.
hall to make it.
No, I'm sure we got pictures of it. I'll
It
take
is
a
not
scan.
one. Well, we've taken out a wall,
Right.
it has helped, but it still needs some
Yeah.
TLC.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we have a write-up on it.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That report was wonderful. I mean, it's not wonderful, but it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that. It's a lot of information. The time and energy and effort that we put into it, there's a lot of writing, a lot of investigation. The cost estimating part of it was a little bit tough. I mean, so people are gonna have some costs that are gonna be a little bit different, because it's hard for us to just price everything that's there. So there's some ballparks in there. So there's almost kind of a forewarning to folks that, you know, if you see something that you want to pursue in terms of a project, whether it's a grant you want to do yourself, I mean, it's a good idea to have, you know, either, you know, a contractor or subcontractor that maybe has that specialization to say, you know, can you come in and take a look at this and get some pricing for us? It would have just been, you know, impossible for us for the fee that we were working with to line item price everything. So a lot of the stuff is just based off some of the historical stuff that we've done. Other stuff is, you know, we've reached out to some folks to get some ideas, from historic restoration folks to you know, electrical contractors and whichever, to try to get some ideas, but it's a moving target sometimes.
Yeah, it's good. Appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, reach out to me if the restroom, if that's something we can help with, we can, you know, that's something we would just draw up a letter proposal to say we think we can knock that out for, you know, an hourly rate with a not to exceed of X, and, you know, it's a pretty simple process for us. We can draw that up pretty quick.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Signed claim form for West Virginia State Treasurer's Office unclaimed property for approximately $1,000.
Yeah, we apparently have some unclaimed property.
Yeah, interrupt one more time.
Yeah.
The water tastes really good up this way.
It's for approximately $1,000, so I've got the paperwork here, it just needs signed,
Okay.
and I'll submit it. Submit it in. And I'll need, Brian, a copy of your driver's license to go with that.
Okay. You know, get that for us, and let me know. I gotta go home a little bit and come back. We're just passing that down.
Okay.
You signed it.
I'll move that we allow the president to sign a claim form for unclaimed property, approximately $100,000 from the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office.
100,000?
Or 1,000. 1,000.
Take the 100,000. You go get your driver's license now.
What is it, just land that's out there? I don't get it.
I don't know
understand.
exactly what kind of property it is.
Is it land that was a tax sale that nobody
I
would bid on?
kind of think what little information they've been able to give me, I think it may be tax dollars.
Yeah. See, we looked into this before, that's when I asked you about the Waste Authority, there's 1,500, or
Yeah, I called
3,000.
them about it.
Lewis County, it's unclaimed. The sheriff has unclaimed money over there. And my Board of Education had it, whenever I had to call down there. And the Board of Education, they said, like, for theirs was where people had mailed in a check to pay their lunch bill, and it never got to the school. Stuff like that, so it's sitting down there in a kitty.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, listen, since the president doesn't have his driver's license, I haven't had mine.
That would look
For
great.
100,000? Yeah.
All right.
Is there a second?
Second. That's that everywhere.
Like the Three Stooges.
I'm telling you what.
And then Jean will have you notarize.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Angel. It's hard for me to keep this thing rolling today. I'm down chatting with the talk. Yeah. I don't know why we couldn't take care of them.
Actually, mine's in here for, when I do my report for them to sign.
Okay, all of my budget revisions have to do with moving money to create line items for all the grants. And specifically, the 3 grants that I moved money to was annex security grant, technical assistance grant, and courthouse station. I didn't have a lot to work with. So, I already had about $30,000 that was specifically in state grants, so I wrote it up among the 3. And then I moved $36,000, $13,000, $13,000 from contingencies and put in about less than $9,800 in contingencies. We might need to be careful with this, like on how many grants we get now, that I really don't have.
Good to match,
Well, it's not necessarily the case. I don't know that we need to be careful about where we're going, even if we had to pay I mean, the penalty on that CD for the rainy day fund is
Right.
minimal.
You need to continue grants, my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't have any money for.
I understand what you're saying.
But we can move.
But eventually that money will start.
Comes back.
Comes back.
Yeah.
Then you-
Yeah. When it comes back, we're gonna bring in at least 37,000 more in state grants before there'll be access to use for more grants. You know what I mean?
We should be getting that courthouse security grant, which is almost 37.
Right.
But that's been submitted for reimbursement for weeks now.
Right,
That we already paid for.
right, and you're getting them back.
That's good.
And several of these grants are 0 match, and some are just the 10%. Because this last one's 20, isn't it?
The
The
basement's
basement.
20.
Yeah, that's the highest that we've had to do.
Yeah, 7.5 on that broadband assistance.
Right.
What the heck?
Angel, how much trouble would it be for you to get us a total of the bills to approve at the end of, during our approving the invoices?
Like right now.
No, we don't necessarily need it right this minute, but for the next meeting.
I can have it for the next meeting, all the bills that's not paid to the T card, I can get you them now.
See, the little Democrat lady asked, like, she would just like to be able to report that we paid X number of dollars worth of
Okay, then if I
bills.
need to.
Yeah, right.
Then I make it all T card
Okay.
stuff.
In every meeting,
Yeah,
every meeting.
yeah, from now on, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
While she's here, those P card statements, whatever, this is my P card statement, that will need Daryl's signature and Brian's original signature.
I don't know that I can do that, so.
He don't have his driver's license. So he can't drive.
Proper identification.
Can anybody in here verify his identity?
Questionable.
It's questionable.
I didn't say character, I said identity.
Oh, go ahead, take your shots.
Hey,
15th.
Like I'm not even sitting here.
We'll talk about imbalance. How much money we
I have one more voyage in July, but I've got the whole year, you guys, 12, 13, records out, first time in the interest. But when we look at 2013, 14, there's issues that you look, so I'm like, one number I'm trying to figure out what it is before I get the line that I'm now, we do the best I can. I can get you a what we have.
In the back. The only reason I ask, we're at that time of the year where you've got January and
Well, I
February.
was getting ready
We
to
always
start.
get low before the month comes back in March and April. Remember last year, it was close to time too. Got,
Last couple of years.
yeah. So that's the only reason, if
I'm
you don't,
ready to start putting up the budget reports for the office, we will start making their requests for whenever you guys want to do the budget and stuff like that. Everybody kind of wait on the, tax papers from there, and you take, saying how much our tax is going to be this year. That's what I do.
But, you know, we met last year, a time or two before we got that from Gary, and everything's pretty well contingent on that.
And this year is when our, class pension, like, class pension for.
But it won't.
already went bad.
Yes.
Keep taking that $300.
Yeah. It won't
I
go
just
up.
like to know how much money we got.
I'm good at it.
Call it old fashioned conservative habit. Don't you like to know how much money you got in the bank, Randy?
Habitism.
I never had that.
Oh, it's been, I caught that right
I
on.
wondered if you got that. I sent
You
it.
want that now?
Well, but be kind of.
Yes,
nice,
please.
Make him happy.
Yeah, I gosh, like to know how much money.
Cindy, we'll turn this over to you.
I'm sure you would take it.
First of all, I'm gonna send down time sheets from 2013.
I'm trying to turn it over to you. These two.
I just want to send out my time sheets for the last part of 2013 down for Brian to sign, but you can review them.
Motion to approve the budget revisions.
So moved.
Stay with us down there, Commissioner.
I'm here.
I need a second. I swear. All in favor?
Aye.
Update on the jailhouse boiler, they have started that on Monday, we're back, I think, on site today. Probably, hopefully be finished by the end of this week. It's about a 5-day process total, so. And as you know, the water line broke down in there in the basement, and that has been repaired, so water's there, we hooked the boiler up and test it. There's a number of different correspondences here that I thought we ought to mention to you. This one letter has to do with the assessor's valuation fund, where he can receive up to 2% of the previous year's taxes. And if there is any evidence that he should not get the full 2%, we need to respond to the tax office by today. So this is the documentation. This is the budget he sent that was approved. This is the letter explaining it. So if you don't have any problems with him getting the 2%, then we don't do anything.
I don't have any problem with it.
We also received another letter about the assessor's valuation fund where he done some budget revisions. Would you like to see that?
That doesn't take our approval.
No. This revision in his fund.
So we don't have to approve what he's already done.
This is assessor's valuation fund, one we can't touch. We can't do anything
The next item that I have here is a letter from the State Department of Transportation. Perhaps you've already heard, but it's alerting to a speed limit change out in the Hay City area. From the intersection of 33-119 Route 5 to 4.9 miles going east on 5. That's going to be reduced to 25 miles per hour. It remains the same until the signs go up. I don't think the signs are up yet.
Say that one more time. How far?
0.49 miles.
0.49.
I thought you said 4.9.
That's what I thought you said. I'm thinking
0.49.
out to about Apcon. Is that about where it is?
No, not a half mile. Out to about.
Back to the dollar store.
Yeah,
Maybe a little before the dollar store.
yeah.
Which it's 45 now, that is too fast for there. And then coming down this hill, 25, that is too slow. There's not enough business up through that area. That should be 35 coming in through town, my opinion.
Well, you're taking a stand on things today, Ramsey.
Did you request
Let me
that?
approve that. Let me approve that.
Stamp that.
Let me stamp that.
If that 45 is too fast.
It's way too, you can't do it. I've tried to do it. There's too many cars coming in and out. You cannot get up to 45.
Sounds like they're about to take care of it.
This is an updated loss report from the risk pool insurance. If you'd like, you can just take a copy if you want to review it at some point. Copies that we've had. Yeah, there are 4 copies, one for each of them.
You've really not had that much, have you?
Not too much. The big ones on there now is Wheeler's workers' comp claim. That's
For what
already.
we pay,
Did you get to go to the Tanner community and look at it
I
yet?
did.
How bad is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up.
somebody brought that to my attention. I wanted to make sure we discuss that.
Kenny Drummer came to me. There's 3 foot of water in the water.
Back in September, you had talked with Larry Gerwe about Great American Petroleum and their $61,000 outstanding tax bill. And you'd asked him to talk to Jerry Hunt to see if anything more had been done. There's been no report back. I've asked Larry a couple times for an update, but I haven't gotten any updates. I just wanted to bring it back to your memory.
They just didn't mention to Jerry
When you talk.
when he talked to him.
He's
No.
deceased.
Who?
Great American, that was,
Oh, back
Back
then.
then.
that's great.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Deceased.
Yeah.
How long ago?
It's been over a year.
Well,
So he was deceased in September whenever you talked to.
yeah, I didn't know that's who that was.
I didn't either.
Who was that?
Back
Back.
then.
Going back now.
But her estate, was it settled yet? It's never been settled yet. So that could be part of that.
So it needs to be.
Check it.
Part of
Right.
that.
Yeah. She filed it, never got it.
Okay, we have an
Never
audit
settled,
here.
is that what you said?
I don't know, I'm checking that before I answer that.
There's an audit for fiscal year 13 for the volunteer fire department.
I don't know if you were final claim against this.
You got 2 years, don't you?
You don't have so many big to file a claim against this.
Really?
So it's too late to file a claim for them. Oh,
I still run my house.
courthouse flood insurance, I already went over that. Risk pool loss report, the jailhouse boiler. The jailhouse boiler, we did receive that grant, the award and the execute agreement. So last time you'd signed the agreement, but now they've sent the signed execute agreement back, so we're good to go. All paperwork's in place for that project. You want me to go on or?
Go ahead.
Okay. David Lyons and I met with Mon Powers, designer out at the rec center, to look at what we can do with the light bill that has the pole lights out the barn. You know, he's been talking, those lights need to be replaced, they're too dim. So Mon Powers is gonna come in and they're gonna put 3 floodlights out there for us, and it's gonna be, they're gonna be their lights, and we'll pay the $18 a month fee versus paying the usage. We'll have better lighting and it'll save us money. They'll put one shining at the ag barn, one shining toward the dining hall, and one shining down over the hill toward Bennett Building and the pool. Should give sufficient lighting up there. Tanner Community Building had a water line break sometime during that cold snap. The supply line in the bathroom upstairs broke, flooded the top floor. I've had pictures of water marks as high as 3 feet up the wall. It ran across the floor toward the kitchen, under all the kitchen cabinets, and then ran down to the second floor. The basement floor ceiling is falling in, and there was enough water running toward the school side where you enter into the second floor of your polling place, that the water actually ran out through the siding and down the outside of the siding. The whole second bottom floor of the siding is water stained. There's a lot of water, which means that whole wall on the inside, insulation and all is damaged too. So $2,500 deductible, I'll file a claim online for school. Okay?
Well, we should have someone that we could, let them have that thing.
I thought you did.
They can't afford the insurance on it. The liability insurance.
There's no way to let them have it. It has to
Put
be
it out for bid.
Right. Yeah.
In case all of you aren't aware, Angel's key card number was stolen. Your key card number. And so they had to close her card and issue a new key card.
How done that?
Somebody keyed it in Walmart in Shepherd, Michigan. They keyed it in. Cause I don't have a card. All I have is a number to kind of.
Right.
So they keyed it in. For $80.
Told me that, it's here.
But you have a new card. You have a new card?
She don't have a card, she just has a ghost card. It's just a number that she pays all of our bills on, and just plugs in a number.
So all the bills that went through, they didn't pay the key card. I may end up having to pay a check if I don't get my numbers.
I was contacted during the Christmas break from Frontier from the front department that our phone lines had been hacked and somebody had been making international phone calls. And so Frontier has secured the phone lines and found out the problem. It was someone had gotten into, because these are VoIP phones, internet phones, someone had gotten into Troy's phone downstairs and had that number and was making international phone calls from somewhere. So
Somewhere local or somewhere along?
we don't know where. You know, internet could have been anywhere in the world, really. So that's been taken care of. Those charges will be on the next bill. I don't think we're going to be responsible for them. But apparently we weren't the only Frontier person that was hacked. There's a sewer line that runs from the upstairs bathroom in the jailhouse down into the basement where the boiler sits. Big old metal pipe. That pipe down in the basement is cracked. We've had that bathroom shut off upstairs now for a couple of weeks until, that's what Bob was talking about, getting in here and fixing. Panic alarm and testing, we've been doing that every month at the 911 center's recommendation. But I need help with that. Because, number one, I don't know if I'm the one that ought to really be doing panic alarm testing. It takes a lot of time. It's once a month. It annoys everybody, but I'm sorry. I don't, I deal with that because it's needed. But I'm one person in here doing a lot of different things. And I think that's a law enforcement issue. I think that they would have the manpower available if they could help with that. So I'd like to request that we get them involved and see if they would take over the panic alarm testing on a monthly basis.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Or the custodian, so.
I'll just mention it.
Start there.
Yeah, I think that might be possibly something Daniel could do. But, that would be for me to decide.
How many do you test? How many?
All of them. There's so
Number.
many every day. 30 maybe. But there's a few every day, so you're not on everything at one time. Chairs, And the last item I have is a request for Martin Hess from the fire department for the commission to meet with them and the EMS tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock at the firehouse concerning the old EMS building.
Tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
What is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So you'll already be intrigued.
I'll already be there, because we have an EMS meeting, and we're going there directly after. It's at 5 o'clock. We intend to be there at 6. Well, I've not seen anything in writing, so I think that's,
It's up for negotiation. That's why we want us there.
I heard that, but I went through that.
That's all I
And
have.
that's not payable.
Okay, Angel? Thank you, Cindy.
Highlighted, the blue is the cash balance. That is what the bill that I paid with my check that you guys are included, and I already understand what you're thinking. That that's not what the P-card bill is. That when you have total revenues that we got in for this stuff so far and the total this year so far, and there's also a total expenditure on the last page. Okay, that's a top. Alright? Got it?
after,
What was that number last year at this time, Angel? Do you know?
I do not.
Will you go look for me, please?
there's a lot of bills that, so what are we doing with that jail bill, Brian?
Huh? Oh, I forgot, don't worry. I was thinking it was just about 300, so I didn't miss it much. Okay.
I have double.
Yeah, but you got $60,000 worth of bills there.
I'll take down 5 now. So it's still up.
Yeah. Okay.
Took longer than thought.
I know, I should have made 10 o'clock on the agenda. Mhm.
He was doing something else and I didn't get it. So here's this one. Steady.
Does anyone file me?
No.
That's what I'm not. But commission. Nobody?
It's their business. I mean, I understand. What would charge you and $660?
And then the page.
Real fun service. I've been up here and I keep forgetting the difference. You suppose I should just take all that, just pile on Brad's
Yeah.
place and I'm gonna leave my copy of this competitive bid process here.
He's not even in here. Yeah, they're all activated. I activated them when I put them together. What's that? Which one is these?
One that's out, this one, yeah. Yeah, I just got one.
Tell, make sure to tell them that it's in here.
I will.
That he asked me to.
I will.
I didn't know that's what y'all was talking about, I told you earlier.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna entertain a motion to go into executive session one more time.
So moved.
Another motion to come out of executive session. What would you like to see done with these two? We need to pay them.
You can approve them, and then, if you wanna go ahead and approve them, I'll make sure when she goes through it, I'll make sure that we're gonna charge correctly. And we'll pay it correctly. But if you wanna wait, November's, I mean, this one's not paid, we just got it, but this is last month's, so we're behind on it. That's the one.
Very good, Jim.
Okay. You guys got anything left with adjournment? You get Gene?
Well, it's, I figured this one.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's got-
Anybody else got anything further to come before the commission?
We did, I moved and Larry seconded to come out.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody else got anything further to come before the commission? Do I hear a motion?
Adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cindy, you'll let us know when our opening the board of
So we meet tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock?
That's
Fire
our
department.
right?
Fire.
Waiting for that.
Aye.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to talk with Jerry,
Yeah.
so we take care of some.
But you're saying to make it public.
That's not a big deal. She'll,
Yeah,
That's
she,
what she was
yeah,
asking
yeah.
her.
Okay,